Hello, welcome to the channel. My name is the Mac, and welcome to this new game I'm covering on the channel. It's another John Tiller game. Looks like I'm exclusively covering the John Tiller games here, but these are the games I really like and I find most historically accurate. And I do love the game system as well. It's very easy to learn and fast, easy to play. So this game is Panzer Campaigns Moscow 41 Gold Edition. This is an old game, of course, but it's been revised, and they're doing all these old games to gold editions. That means enhancing the graphics, enhancing the sounds, adding some more scenarios, and I think this game has maybe 50 some scenarios in total. 25 was in the original, and now they add these from the Volcano Man mods. His alternate version of these scenarios that he's been doing from his site, and they're also added to these gold editions. So that's good fun. So Moscow 41, yeah, it's basically covering the Operation Typhoon, or the Battle of Moscow, so to speak, after the Barbaros invasion and the massive destruction of the Russian armies, and I think around the Battle of Smolensk and those operations when the massive encirclements and the Germans really had some stunning victories and took hundreds of thousands of prisoners and destroyed divisions and army groups and everything. They basically killed everything in their wake, and they've been extraordinarily successful and blitzed their way through into Russia. Uh, they the time schedule was getting. I mean, the Germans underestimated the size of Russia to start with, and the determination of the resistance and the scorched earth policy. Of course, the Russians, as they withdrew, they destroyed infrastructure and farms and factories, everything. So the Germans basically covered dead land and just abandoned villages and towns and cities. So it was a very tough campaign, as we all know and read in our history books. But this game covers the Operation Typhoon. So just after that, the Germans uh, wanted to make, or rather Hitler wanted to make, just another push and try to reach Moscow by the year's end, so to speak. So the operation started basically the 2nd of October 1941, and it was ground to a halt in January, the 7th of January 1942. That's when the Russian mounted their massive counteroffensive, the Moscow 42 counteroffensive. So it was a big campaign. I mean, the Germans were, of course, very strung out, and all the divisions and the men were very tired after all those battles and victories, and so they rushed back into to fighting there to cover the last distance to Moscow. And as I said before, the Germans gravely underestimated the Russian reserves and the amount of manpower that Stalin could call upon, and the factories that kept moving east, so out of the range for German bombers, and they could mass produce weapons and tanks and just spit them out and throw them into the fight. So it was a war of attrition, and the Russians had most material on their side to overcome the Germans there. They were slowly grinded down until a halt. Another big thing that played a very big role in Operation Typhoon was the weather. The Rasputin, as they came into fall and winter, the rains and snow that fell turned everything into mud, and there wasn't any real good roads to start off with in Russia. The roads were terrible, and as we know, the Germans built their tactics on mobile warfare with the mechanized and motorized formations, and they were basically ground they were like crawling their way forward in this terrible weather, constantly being counterattacked by the Russians, putting up the defensive lines, and they had to fight through this. And the weather was getting colder, and by the winter it was freezing. It was like the coldest winter in 20 years or something. It was crazy, and everything just stopped. I mean, they really made the last ditch effort there, but everything was against them. Everything, the weather, the ground, the materials, and they weren't issuing any winter uniforms as well because the German high command thought that the Germans were going to beat Russia in a couple of months, but they really didn't. They really underestimated the Russians there, and the Russians were, of course, uh, very adapted to fight in the winter conditions with the ice and the snow, and these German formations came in there in their summer uniforms. It must have been hell. I mean, wow. So, and everything froze, and they would have took ages to start up. They had the preheat tanks, and even weapon oil froze, and it was just terrible, terrible conditions. And another factor also that played part was the Luftwaffe was not as powerful as uh, we all think they were. They took some heavy casualties in the Battle of Britain, and they hadn't really recuperated from that. And lots of air power was also diverted to Crete, the invasion of Crete. So all those Fallschirmjägers that could have been used were not available on the Eastern Front. So it was really tough going. It was basically a doomed campaign to start off with. I think Hitler's generals usually advised him not to do it, but at this point he was, mad as he was, getting all caught up and wanted a victory at any cost, and he really sacrificed some of the best fighting units in this campaign. Typhoon, many of the best German elite forces, really, really experienced troops from France and Poland and Denmark and Norway invasion. They really paid a heavy price in this really count pointless campaign. They could have waited and resumed operations. Of course, the Russians would have been also had time to build up defenses, but they would have had it anyways. I mean, they did it anyways. They really prepared for this. So really interesting theater. This, I mean, this campaign is very interesting. That what happened there and the massive fights that went on, and I think initially the Germans did really well. They encircled and a couple of these Russian armies and annihilated them, captured. I mean, some reports that they lost over 1 million men. I think in some sources they say that's overrated, exaggerated, but it was a lot of. But the Russians just they had the manpower; they could just push in even more, and the Germans really had not that many reinforcements to replace, and the tanks. Once they lost the tank, it was a big deal, and for the Russians, it was no big deal. If they lost 30 tanks there, they didn't care; just produce more, and so the value of life was under Stalin's rule was probably not the best. But yeah, they fought for their homeland, of course. So they fought with it was being ruled by Nazis or ruled by communism, and I guess they chose communism. So right, just back to the game here. I'm rambling off in some historical thoughts there. So this game here, it's Panzer Campaigns. I've been covering the Panzer Campaigns the Bulge before. So we're talking large warfare here. We're moving battalions and companies and regiments around. So scale is a lot bigger. I think one hex is a kilometer. So one game turn is 2 hours. So big scale here, big operations. This is early war though. The Bulge was late war, but this is some interesting scenarios here. So thinking of doing a scenario here. Now, don't really know. I haven't really decided yet. I've actually just played very little of this game, but the started scenario here is actually you get the walkthrough, and I guess that's no fun. It's better if you play it yourself. But I did try this as the Germans actually, and this is actually a what if scenario. It was kind of fun. It's kind of interesting. It's Yelnya, 90 kilometers southwest of Wezma, October 1st, 1941. After the attack of Guderian's Second Panzer Army in the Bryansk front sector on the September 29th, Statka believed that the rest of Army Group Center would also be going on the offensive. So to disrupt this plan, Stalin ordered a limited counteroffensive to tie down additional German troops and prevent the offensive. The Western Front commander Konev thought the best place to attack was the stretched German line on the southern flank of the Army Group Center. There was already a strong Soviet tank force in the area, so this would be the place where the German invaders would be made to bleed. Size medium. This is a what if scenario. Uh, so I guess they had different versions of this scenario. I played this one as the Germans and was basically just defend a massive red horde of Russian units, and it was a slaughter, and thousands and thousands and thousands of Russian troops got killed, and it's kind of easy. But I guess for the Russian player, this must be much more challenging. And I thought I would go up for a real challenge here. Probably get beaten, but that's the fun part of wargaming. You gotta lose sometimes, right? Learn from your mistakes. So they got different versions here. I'm not sure. So this is the I think this old scenario is the volcano mod man version, and they have Yelnia, and they have this Yelnia here. It's a different version. It says this is a what if scenario. In this variant, the German respond to the attack depicted in the first scenario by sending two infantry divisions to start a counteroffensive towards Yelnya. So there's another interesting thing they had there, and that's the this one here is the volcano mod version, I think. So I'm going to try the original version here, and it's 23 turns. It's probably going to be a couple of videos covering this battle. If you're familiar with this game and you know and you want me to try another scenario on what side I should play, let me know and I'll try it out. So they have all these famous sites where the biggest battles took place and where the breakthroughs were. But an interesting thing here, it's kind of funny, is the Typhoon campaign. Check that out. 421 turns. I mean, wow, that is very extensive. That is crazy amount of turns. 421. I mean, imagine how long that will take you to play it. I mean, it must take weeks, months to finish that. I mean, it's crazy. But it's the Moscow area, November 15th, 1941 here. The main historical campaign game of the Operation Typhoon on November 15th, 1941. The German forces, arrayed in front of the Russian capital, kicked off what would be the last serious attempt to take Moscow. The operation was doomed to failure for multiple reasons, including the vicious weather, the large amount of fresh Russian troops, and friction of fighting at the end of a 2,000-kilometer supply line. Yeah, that was one thing I forgot to mention before. The supply line for the German troops were insane. I mean, 2,000 kilometers to get stuff up to the front. I mean, that's crazy. With all those partisans and other uh, Russians trying to sabotage the road work, the network there, the railroads, and blowing up trucks. I mean, it must be hell to keep those troops supplied. It's crazy. The Germans came incredibly close to Moscow itself before the Russian counterattack pushed them back. Yeah, so that was basically the whole campaign there. And they have that's the alternate version, it's 421. Then they have the Typhoon No Crete campaign. This is what I mentioned before about the Luftwaffe and the Crete. It's very interesting here, actually. It says, what if Crete hadn't occurred in 41? The Germans would have had airborne forces available for the invasion of Russia, and perhaps for the final push to Moscow. This what-if scenario is identical to the main historical campaign game of Operation Typhoon, with the addition of airdrop of the 7th Flieger Division in one of the three locations. That's pretty cool, Ed. So they have a lot of what-ifs here. Here's one called Typhoon Max German No Crete campaign. So this is another version still, and it's what's the difference here? This hypothetical campaign game is based heavily on the historical game, but allocates extra forces to the Germans that were in the area, but busy off the map. specifically elements of the 2nd Panzer Army and a few divisions in the north. It also has no Axis fixed units at the start and includes a hypothetical airborne drop of the 7th Flieger Division, as Crete is assumed to have not occurred. Yeah, so they have some pretty cool, they have this called max effort here. Extra forces to the Germans here. Yeah, that's 2nd Panzer Army. They do have a Typhoon small here, but still it's 117 turns. That's also very big, so I think they have a smaller version of it here. So I was kind of tempted actually to play this. Probably would do that as my next. After this, we'll put that up. This is pretty fun. This is right at the end of the December 2nd here. Yes, right at the end of the offensive here. The 2nd Panzer Division was attacked on the left flank of the army, advancing along Moscow Road, then to the east, capturing villages along the way. They continued through the snowstorm to take the village of Krasnaya, Polnya, and Pushki and Gorky. The 38th Engineer Battalion blew up a railroad station close by, from which it was exactly 17 kilometers to Moscow. So it was pretty close, and 27 kilometers to the Kremlin. So they came very close. I think I read somewhere in some interesting book or article or whatever it was, there was actually a French Foreign Legion battalion that was, or a regiment that was fighting. It was actually the only foreign force fighting for the Germans in the Operation Typhoon, and they were actually the ones that got the closest to Moscow. That was a pretty interesting read. That so they were French Foreign Legion soldiers fighting with the Germans, and they actually came the closest to Moscow. Obviously, they had no support. They had to turn back in the winter, and they probably were not powerful enough to continue to advance. But they came very close. That was interesting. Right, me rambling on here. Right, so let's try this as the Russians. This is going to be very hard. I know, because when I played it as the Germans, it was very easy to just destroy this Russian force. But gonna have it go. See how it goes. Right, so kick it off here. Russians would be manual, and the Germans would be fog of war there. Rules, yeah, loads of rules here, but I'm just keeping them default. Let's kick this sucker off here and see. Right, so here we are. This is, we're all familiar with the games, what they look like. So 1 headquarter out of 9 is out of command. All right, boom. So here we are. This is the, looks like the attack is happening in 3 locations here. I've got forces here, and forces here. Now, since I played this already as the Germans, I basically know where the Germans are, but don't remember exactly. They do have, I know they have defensive lines, but they're pretty stationary. The German forces. They're basically here just to mow down these Russian units advancing here, attacking. And I'll see if I can do it. And obviously, we're going to have to capture these Slavka and this Soboitli and Balatinov, Balutino, Pervoi, Yazveno. So yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that. You got some objectives there. So let's have a look at the. What do I need here? See, I need lots of points here. I need over 1,750 points to actually get a major victory here. So that's going to be really hard. I mean, these are only worth 100 points each. So that means I'm going to have to destroy the German forces and capture all these. So they mentioned the strong armored formation in the area. Let's see what we got here first. Let's see. Right off the bat, we're out of command. That's great. Okay. So this is the what do I have in the north here? This is the 309th Rifle Division here. That's the whole division there, I guess. What do we got? We got 550 men in these rifle battalions. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 battalions here. Got some artillery back here. 8 for the rifle division here. 76 to 122 millimeter howitzers there. All group 12 guns there. And I do have 3 battalions coming in here. They're in travel mode. They're going to be probably exploit the breakthrough I make here. What do we got back here? We do have 36 guns here belonging to the 24th Army. So 152 millimeter guns. Wow, that's a pretty big battery there. Wow. All right, massive amount of guns assembled here. So we got something coming in from the northeast here. What's this? This is 107th Rifle Division coming here. They have artillery there and a bunch of battalions. Yep, bunch of battalions. There's a whole division coming in there. Right, so here we have something. Yeah, this is the headquarters of the 24th Army here. The whole headquarters for everything. 25 men only. Pretty small headquarters there. They've got anti-tank guns set up there and engineer. Gonna be needing these guys. They're way back here. Kind of strange. What else we got? So in the front here we have the 146th Tank Brigade, apparently. Yeah, got some Tank Brigade here. See what he got. Yeah, this must be the armor we're talking about. We got 12 T-34s. Now remember this is November 41. So this is the T-34 was king of the battlefield basically compared to the German tanks. At least in the firepower of the main gun, but then the crew was lousy and all that. But it was one of them powerful. And do have this. Wow, KV-1s, 7 of them. And the 450 men in the motorized rifle battalion here accompanying these tanks. So I guess they're all lined up. They're going to be smashing in here, probably. And what do we got here? We got the 103rd Rifle Division here. I guess it's about the same setup there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 9 battalions of infantry. Do have some divisional support there. Artillery. I have something here. Another big cluster of these 152 millimeter howitzers here. Yeah, they are going to be using them for exploiting breakthroughs in the lines, probably. What else we got? What's coming in here? The 144th Tank Brigade coming in here. So I got another Tank Brigade coming in. Guess it's about the same setup there. Yeah, 12 T-34s there, 7 KV-1s. And here's something interesting. T-60 tanks. 30? Wow. 30 tanks there. What is that? Is that that's a tank? That's a whole battalion there, yeah. 30 tanks. Yeah, it looks like we have a damaged battalion here. T-60s and those T-26 tanks there. Pretty lousy tanks, but still. We have some motorized rifle to accompany them and the headquarters there. Oh, yeah. So, what we got here on these roads? We have the 19th Rifle Division. Wow, this is even more. It's a big battle, this. We have a whole division here. I'm not sure where they're going. Yeah, we got these in the front here. That's a whole division there. What's this? 106th. Yeah, we have a whole division here. And we have 139th Division here, south. And they have their divisional artillery support as well. Interesting stuff. Right, so this is going to be a slaughter. I mean, for me, I'm going to be taking heavy casualties because I'm attacking these well-prepared German lines. And he's got some pretty badass troops here. So we're going to be, it's going to be like a meat grinder here. We're going to be hitting these minefields and try and break through. And of course, we're going to be using these divisions in the rear here to exploit those breakthroughs. That's the idea, I think. So let's see. So these are minefields here. So when it says ×3, that means there's lots of mines there. ×1 is less, I guess. And so on and so on. One thing right off the bat I'm noticing is the lack of engineers. There's hardly any engineers. I mean, I don't have anything to clear these minefields with. that means I'm just going to have to run through these minefields, take loads of casualties, and being shot at, and try to smash through these defenses. Suicide, basically. I did notice one engineer unit down here. Do have an engineer unit down here. One in the whole. There's only one engineer battalion here. 500 men for these, basically 2 divisions. That's pretty crazy. And here there's no engineers at all helping out. Do have a divisional here. This is separate engineer, 88th separate engineer here. Well, these guys definitely going to need to be coming up to the front here. Maybe I should stop moving them. See how far they can go in travel mode. I'm thinking of using them to smash through here, actually. So let's stop moving these engineers up. On foot, unfortunately. So pretty slow going there. Right. There's a couple of... these goons are very close. What's he got here? Unknown amount. Everything's 3 digits here. So how good are these guys anyways? They got a hard 4 and soft 9 attack. Okay. So they're going to be very inferior to the German troops. Assault is 14 though. Got pretty good assault values, these troops. Right, where to start? Where to start? Do I have any air? Do I have any air support? No. Right, so bring up the artillery dialogue here. Okay, so a couple of batteries are not available. Let's see, where is this? So this is the 103rd Division's artillery here. Now, where do I want to start off barraging? Could be exploiting this. Here's one minefield here. Haven't spotted any unit there. So if this battalion here, this regiment, moves in here, if I smash that with some artillery fire, we can see what happens there. So let's open up with these guns. There's what? 12 mixed guns there. Right. 3 casualties. That was hardly a scratch there. We do have these heavy guns. Could be using them. Let's see if I can cause some casualties in this unit. 7 men. 1 man. Wow, I guess I got some pretty bad rolls there. Right, in the south, it's going to be hard to advance here. I'm going to be exposed to many units. Let's see, who are these guys here? We do have a regiment here. I mean, if this could be a place to exploit here. I do have a river here, though. Yeah, can't move across there, fortunately. Nor can they. It looks like, yeah, this is a river here. It's hard to see. Maybe if I zoom in. You can actually zoom in here, yeah. So this is the river. So I can't cross here. So I'm gonna have to funnel through these streams here. So that's a shame, but there's one minefield there. Well, the strength of 1 at least. I could barrage there with that artillery support. Let's see. Yeah, these 2 units here are going to be exposed. Fire at me as I come in here. It's a problem, but we're going to have to do it. So maybe hit this here. 2 men. So 5 men killed there. Hardly anything. Right here. Let's see. Some quite extensive minefields here. I do have that engineer unit there. That engineer unit. Wonder if why there's a gap there. Right. Obviously, you want to surround, concentrate, and grind down, roll down. You need to really surround. It's going to be really hard, this. don't know if I took way much water over my head here. Right, we do have the, what are these? These are the divisional support artillery. Yeah, they're over here. Let's see, what are these guys? Just going to see the, yeah, so we do have them. Now there's 550 guys in every battalion here, and I think the stacking limit's 1,000 men. So we're going to be just about to squeeze 2 battalions into 1 hex. Could concentrate here for these woods. Attack this northern position here. Let's try that. Let's get some barrages going on that unit. 1 man. Alright, that's terrible. Alright, so why not just start here and see what we can do. Start moving units. We do have this battalion here. Can move through these marshes here. I don't know if he's got a unit here. He could have a hidden unit in the woods there. But I'm going to move this unit down here, I think. Yeah, that's what I expected here. Ouch. Yeah, you see the casualties there? It's crazy. 5 men and 8 men. I mean, that is pretty bloody there. Right, so he's got a unit there, unfortunately. So we're going to have to pile up here and try to break these units, I think. Let's move this up there into these woods. We're going to be shot at there. 14 casualties. Wow. Right, this battalion here, I'm going to move them up. Maybe we're going to move it in there later on. See what happens there. Right, we do have a spread out battalion here. Very extensive minefields here. It looks like he's got 2 units in there, so that's a pretty powerful formation there. Let's see here. 2 massive battalions there. I don't know if he's got mines there. We could funnel these 2 battalions in there. Let's see if we can do that. 9-man disruption right off the bat. Alright. Let's get these guys in there as well. 8 men. 13 men. Yeah, we're going to take a horrendous amount of casualties here. Let's get this battalion up here. Get that behind there. Don't know about moving straight forward here. It just looks too deadly. Too many units being able to fire at me here. We do have the engineers. This looks like he probably has something here though. Let's move these guys forward here. They don't have enough movement to move into these minefields here. This would be a good place to attack, but it's got very extensive mines here. Let's see. Let's get this battalion. Let's maybe leave them in there. Let's move them up there actually. Let's get this battalion in here. We're probably going to take a huge amount of casualties, but let's do it. 18 men killed there. Another 18 men dead there. Ooh, that's a lot. Alright. Let's see what else we can do. So we're going to try to break this point here. I'm going to try to break this here and that. Start off with. Right, so we can't move through here. So the only way for these guys is actually to move in here. So we're going to have to do it. 7 men. Oof, 11. Wow. Oh, it hurts my eyes seeing those casualties. Alright, let's get this guy up there. Let's get this battalion to form up here, maybe. It's just I can't move across there. There's no point being down here. Let's just get him up there. Use the trench system there. This battalion here, what to do? Maybe get some reserves here for these guys. See if we can exploit this area here. Let's form up a big thrust in there. See what happens. Alright, so this is going to take some time, these turns, but get a plan. So they all move there. Use the southern flank there. Right, let's see. Extensive minefield just outside this village here. Volvo could hold back, wait for my engineers to arrive. Probably got loads of defenses here, though. Right, so this is a... What do we got here? We got improved position there. He's got trenches. We do have... maybe these guys should form up here. Get ready to thrust in here. Try to attack there. I could have units there. Probably has. There doesn't seem to be any minefields here. Maybe we should try smash to the south here. Alright, so obviously this attack here. Yeah, it's kind of dangerous to sit around here. It could be pounding me with heavy artillery as I'm waiting to advance. This engineered unit is probably going to take at least 2 turns to get here. Clear mines. But I do need to clear mines. This engineer unit down here in the south is kind of wasted. I would like to have had it in the north instead. Because these engineer units could clear these minefields for my breakthrough units. So we might just go and ignore casualties. Let's see, we do have a battalion here, a regiment. Could move them down here. Could have a unit there. Let's see. Let's get these forward a bit. There's a big minefield there. Well, this headquarters could stay there. We do have some fast-moving tanks. Just BTs, BT5s, pretty fast tanks. Could do a bit of a scouting here, I guess. Don't know what he's got over here. Move that up there, and those light tanks could accompany it. Leave the headquarters there. Let's see in the north. I have no spotted on any of the units here. There's marshlands here. Maybe we should try and swing these units through these woods. Would be at least some sort of cover here. Let's see how they move. Let's get one move over there. So far so good. Some company there. He has a pretty extensive minefields here. This could be dangerous. Moving through these marshes here. Could be very dangerous. So maybe we should swing this hole down here as well. Let's move them down. Yeah, I do have some reinforcements coming in here. These are the what are these? This is the 3rd regiment of the division here. What is the visibility? That's another important factor. The visibility here. Don't know. Let's see how far these guys can move. We should pile them down here. There's a village there. We're in town. There's a village. Yeah, let's get them down there. Zoom out a bit. Right, so I've started to move some stuff here. First turn. Try to form up some sort of attack here. And here we have the division here coming in. Let's see. Should start to form them up. Maybe get them down here. Have a division ready to exploit if we count Germans here. We do have another armored. We do have an armored thrust here. Maybe take this armor and use it in this thrust here. Could be interesting. Or actually use all armor here and get the engineers to clear the mines, smash through, and then try to funnel out the armor here. Try that. Pretty bold plan, but guess you gotta be bold. Let's see here. Let's get these up. Let's see first how far they can move and actually get out of that travel mode. It's good enough, I think. Let's get them up there. T-34s. Obviously the early version. Right, so those KVs can't move that far. So we can chance it, move them up a bit. Right, 30 of these T-60s. Let's just leave them in travel mode and get them up there fast. T-26 is there. What's this? This is the motorized support there. And the tank regiment's headquarters there. Move them up. Right. Now this looks like a pretty bogged down area to exploit with the. See, I do have lots of armor here. Let's get this division moving as well. I want to use them here actually. Let's gamble with that and see how that works. Get them all traveling down here in. Okay, so they're not in travel mode. I'm gonna put them in travel mode here. So 550 men there in every battalion. It's quite big. Let's get that headquarters moving up ahead, actually. Pretty big battles here, Panzer Campaigns. Quite interesting. So this is a what if. I mean, can I stop the Germans before they... The Germans are very powerful here. And the units I've got are not the best, but... why not try it? So what about this division here? This is an interesting... What should I do with these guys? This is a whole division here. Could be using them here. Try to help out and smash through here. We're probably going to be needing some help in the south, though. Yeah, I do have lots of stuff. I do have a division here. I might want to use them in the south, actually. And see if I can use them here to help out, basically. Let's get them down there. An option could be try to get through these marshes and hit the Germans in the rear here. Could be an option. Probably take a long time though. Do have 23 turns, but there could be an option. Use this 19th Rifle Division as a sneak through these marshes here. I do think the Germans probably have taken precautions though, but can't remember. So could try that. Form up here. Take a long time though. At least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 5, 6 turns to get through here. But then I would be through, and then it'd be very dangerous for the German rear lines. Let's try it. Let's gamble here. Why not? What the heck? Let's do it. Smooth them out here. You always got to make a plan. Even if it's a bad plan, you got to have a plan. Let's get down there. What do we got? Get the division here. Set up in this field here. Let's get those guys down there. Get the artillery. It's not in travel mode. All right. Right. So I'm thinking these videos I'm posting for this is going to be slightly longer than the 30-35 minutes. I'm going to try to keep these maybe around 45 minutes because since these battles are so big, you need a lot of planning. What's this? This is actually anti-tank guns. Will I be needing them? Probably not. Let's see. Scroll for units I haven't moved. Yeah, these guys are here. They're gonna be fighting them. What else? That headquarters, side of command, but it's gonna stay there. What's this? Artillery? Oh yeah, I can't see anything yet here. I can't fire with it. That's the headquarters there. They're gonna be staying there. This artillery here. It's actually was that doesn't say unavailable there for some reason. It's grayed out. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. Those are the heavy guns. We do have our headquarters here. I don't know if they're out of range or anything. Maybe they should move up. Let's leave them there. Leave that stuff there. So all units. Right, so that was my initial planning and initial movement there. And in the next video, we are going to do some firing probably, take heavy casualties, and start moving out the offensive here. So the offensive started here at 1st October, 8 o'clock in the morning here. 1 of 23, normal conditions, daytime. So, hope you're going to enjoy this Let's Play of Panzer Campaigns Moscow 41. Pretty cool name of the scenario here. They won't know what hit them. Yeah. Probably we don't know what's going to hit us. It's probably the case here. I know it's going to be bloody as hell, but this is definitely going to be a challenge to try to attack the German lines here before they actually start with the Operation Typhoon. It's definitely a suicide mission, but what the heck? Let's try it. Let's see if we can succeed. So I want to thank you for watching, and hope you're going to enjoy this, and see you in the next video. Have a good one.